So obviously I have quite a few years of experience now dealing with university students and all that stuff, from all the way from when I still served within residency leadership until now through Learn Smart and stuff. And I think one thing that I can say I've honestly seen is every single person's journey is unique. There's so many different paths and so many different means and ways to get from point A to point B. This is the one thing which I've seen. And just because someone's path is different to another person's path doesn't make that person less than the other person. I think this is the theme of today's episode. The importance of focusing on your own journey as opposed to using other people's journey as a measuring stick to where you should be. And I think this sort of mindset and how we view things as we all need to progress together started back in high school, where of course there were different grades and stuff, and progressing to the next grade within a year was the sort of norm, was the expectation. But I think now, the older we get and the more we go through life, the more unique our journeys become, because now we're no longer doing the same subjects, we no longer do the same modules or whatever. Perhaps, yes, we may be studying the same degree, but our paths to get to the end of the degree may differ. And it's so important to normalize this. It's very important to normalize that the focus, and this is something that I think I share a lot in the WhatsApp community, but the focus should not be how quickly can I get from point A to point B, how quickly can I finish my degree. Of course, it's important to now try finish within minimum time or as quickly as possible. But I think the more important focus should rather be completing your qualification, completing your degree, and completing your journey through university. This is what I feel should be the emphasis, because it can be a bit demoralizing if you use speed as a sort of metric for how successful you are. If you've completed your degree in minimum time, you're super successful. If perhaps you failed a few years, then you're not really successful. But I don't really think that's correct, because, and this is something that I used to always say, but when you do get your qualification, when you do get your degree, it doesn't necessarily say completed within 3 years, completed within 4 years or whatever. No, it doesn't. So yes, the focus should be on that, and it's really important for you to understand that you can't use someone else's journey as a metric for your own success, because the challenges that you perhaps face are different to the challenges faced by the other person. Perhaps there's a bit more in your plate. Perhaps you've had to deal with certain mental issues such as depression. Perhaps the living situation at home hasn't been conducive, or perhaps you didn't go to the best school and you didn't have the best foundation. Whatever the case may be, you need to understand that your journey is yours, and no matter what happens during your journey, especially within university, always keep that end in mind, that end focus, which is ultimately completing your qualification and beginning to create a better life for yourself. I think one thing that we don't really realize within university is that we're all still incredibly young. Whether you're 19 or 27, however old you are, we are incredibly young, and we have so much life to live. We still have a very long life to live, and there's still so much that we're going to experience and all that. So I think as a great method to gauge whether something should stress you out in life, and I think this is just a general tip as well, but you should always use the metric of 5 years from today, am I going to be thinking about the problems that stress me out? This is a very good one. Think 5 years from the exact day today. Think 5 years ago when you were back in high school, wherever you were. Think about that time and think about the stuff that you used to worry about, or the stuff that used to stress you, if you can even still remember them. And think about whether they still stress you out today, whether there are still, issues today. I think when we use this sort of long-term lens in viewing our issues and our problems, then it sort of makes them a bit smaller. It sort of makes them less significant, and we can truly see them for what they are. Because, as I said, we have an incredibly long way to go. So whether you failed a year, you've completed your degree in 5 years instead of 3, or what be the case, 5 years from today, what's going to be important is not that you took long to finish your degree or qualification, but it's you finished your degree, you finished your qualification. That in itself is the achievement. So yes, please do aspire and do go forth in trying to complete your qualification in minimum time and as quickly as possible. But don't let that be the only metric for how successful you are. I think something that's really important as well, and it's something that is one of my weaknesses. I know I've shared this as well within the WhatsApp community, but just looking at your own journey and looking at how far you've actually come. And this is so important, because at the end of the day, in as much as of course you have parents, you have friends, you have family, all that stuff, but the only person in this world who knows what you've been through and what you've had to the hurdles that you've had to sort of jump over and the mountains you've had to climb, the only person that truly comprehends that is you. Literally, you are the only person who knows what you've had to do to get to this point right here. And if you don't recognize your own progress, if you don't recognize your own greatness and the things that you've had to overcome and how strong of a person you actually are, if you don't do any of that, I promise you right now, no one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to do it for you. And even if, people tell you, oh, you've really come a long way, you've done good stuff, all that stuff. If people tell you that and you don't believe it yourself, then it doesn't really help you at all. So I think validation needs to start from yourself. Don't wait for external factors to validate your success and to validate how far you've come, the stuff you've achieved, and you actually progressing and growing as a person. You start by internally validating yourself, validating your self-worth, and validating your progress and success. And I think everything else comes after, because in this process of viewing your own greatness, viewing your own progress, in doing this, it also inspires you to keep moving forward, to keep your head up, and to keep striving towards that goal at the end of the year, which is of course passing the year, and at the end of your degree, of course. I think sometimes as students, and it's very understandable of course, but we have a mindset of viewing only our problems, identifying problems and only focusing on that. And of course this stems from us trying to improve and get better marks and pass, all that stuff. But I think it's got its positives 100%, but it's also got its negatives as well, because if you only view your problems and you only view how far you still have to go, the progress you still have to make, you have mountains and mountains of work to do, all that stuff. If you keep viewing problems, then there's no progression. Then you feel you're going nowhere. That's where these feelings of I'm not really going anywhere, I'm going backwards, I'm digressing, things are not looking good, they're bleak, all that stuff. That's where these feelings start to come from. And then of course towards the end of the year, and I know this happens to a lot of students, towards the end of the year you start losing belief in your ability to succeed and to pass. And for all those who perhaps weren't successful in a previous year of study and didn't pass, I think you can all resonate to the words that I'm saying, because I know that there was a point in time where you yourself didn't believe you were going to pass. You yourself didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and inevitably it didn't happen for you. Of course, you're still here, which is all that matters. But yeah, I think this is super important, and I think it's why within the community as well, I focus a lot on what's happening up here, on your mentality, on the mindset, on how you speak to yourself. Because once you win that battle up here, once you win that, then so much happens for you. I think this is the mind is the start of every great achievement, every great victory and success. So yes, guys, I think this is an episode that's quite important, and I really wanted to get this out at the beginning of the year as well, because I want you guys this year to focus on your journey. Whether your friends are studying with you, ahead of you, behind you, no matter what, you focus on your journey and you focus on completing that degree and creating a better life for yourself. So yes, guys, it has been me, Sifiso Mkhize, here with another episode. I'm loving doing this, guys. I can't even lie to you. I absolutely love filming these episodes, helping you guys out on the WhatsApp groups. So yes, I really hope this has added value. And until the next episode, as always, guys, let's continue on our journey in creating a better world.